Welcome in everyone to the Challenge After Show tonight. Pamela and I are talking about the Challenge season 40, episode 0, I guess they're calling it, for the new season, Battle of the Eras. And on my Hulu, it was labeled E101 and it was labeled Eras Only. So that's like the name of the episode is Eras Only. But E101, that's what they're calling episode 0. I don't understand because obviously the premiere episode is going to be this upcoming Wednesday. So I don't know. E101, someone can explain it to me in the chat why it was called that, but we know it as episode 0. This is the first episode 0 that you and I are ever going to be covering, Pam. We missed the one last season that they did, apparently, that we just forgot. And then everyone was like, why didn't you guys cover episode 0? And we're like, our bad.
That's why we made it. That's why we're covering this episode
Well,
0
of course. We couldn't
because
make
we
this.
didn't want to not do it. Yeah. But I watched it on YouTube because I have Paramount Plus that's like supposed to be MTV when it's on, but it was not on that.
Well, this is the
Um,
flagship, so I think it's just on MTV. I don't unless do they air it on Paramount Plus a week later? Like what do they? I don't.
don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's just MTV now. They want you back on cable. It's season
They're
40. It's not All Stars, so they're just
you
gonna put
saying that
the.
I'm not going to get it on Paramount Plus?
I don't think so, Pamela, but don't worry. I'm sure we can somehow figure out for you to. Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure I
let's
can.
figure it.
We can figure something out there, Pamela. No problem. Well, I'll say this. You, Jenna, and I already covered all this stuff. Kind of remember we did like the preview
We
for season
did.
40. This is all it's the same type of stuff. There's some stuff I wrote down because it's going to be fun to kind of break some stuff down. I also wrote down like people I wish were on season 40, and we can kind of, I don't know if you have a list too, just for fun. I have like almost 10 people listed like, man, season 40, it looks great already, but like if you added these 5 to 10 players instead of some others in there, like, and we can talk, I can definitely switch them out with plenty of people. It would have been fantastic. But then again, they have to get them. If they don't want to go on, they don't want to go on.
Yeah, or
I
if
hope
they're
that they were at least
busy.
reached out to. At least reach
I'm
out to.
sure. I'm sure they were. And I agree that we sort of covered it when we went over the cast.
Yeah.
But sure, we can talk about the little, I mean, I am overall thoughts super crazy excited about it, and all the teams look good, and I love that I love that they set up all the drive. Love, I'm here for the Danny drama, like you.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I'm really excited about the romances we're gonna get to see form. I'm excited about seeing Nerys and Olivia become friends again, I hope. And I'm excited about some of the rivalries that they teased, but I'm pissed about some of that too. So
Ooh. So we
yeah,
do have quite, we have some stuff to talk
yeah,
about
I
then.
guess we do have a little bit.
So when we talked last, you, Jenna, and I, we had said like, well, Leroy should be on this season and or on this era and this. But then people in the comment section called us out and said, no, they're breaking it up by when they appeared. And now, of course, TJ, in this episode, they break it down for us, so we figured it out. Era 1 is season 1 through 10 of the original. Obviously the challenge, and then season era 2 is season 11 through 20, and so on and so forth. So now we know why everybody's on certain teams. Now I get it. And it's funny
Get it.
because our first call out was for era 2. Wow, bananas. There's no other dudes on that era with you, man. Like you're kind of flying solo as far as like you could have used a Wes in there and whatnot. And he brings it up. Like in that
Hmm.
big party they're having, he's like, or someone from era 1, maybe it was Rachel. I don't know. They're like, don't you wish you were on our era? He's like, oh, not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, it was Era Mark, I think. Someone from Era One was like, haha, don't you wish you were in
Yeah,
Era
and
One?
then even Bananas in the interview, and we can get into this. Davon and Devin, they were like hosting shit. That was weird. But we can get they asked them like, are you guys excited for the new season? They asked each era that question. And then Banana said, oh, we're gonna let the ladies take over for our era. And no shit, you're going to, because they all kick ass
Yeah,
and your dudes are weak AF. So what the hell are we doing here?
yeah,
Anyways, I just wanted to bring that up because we said the same thing, and Bananas is obviously he's recognizing it as well as like, holy crap, my dudes here. We're gonna be a little behind
But
the.
I mean, the girls, just like the last season of All Stars, these girls can take it. I mean, I'm not, those girls put them against any of the stacked guy teams,
Yep.
honestly, other than the fact that just lifting heavy things they might be a little less good at.
Well,
I
it's
feel like
funny.
there's,
I'm glad you brought this up because Mark Long, Godfather, he appeared. I listen to a bunch of random podcasts. I love 90s podcasts. He appeared on the Lawrence brothers. I'm sure you're familiar with Joey
of
Lawrence
course,
and Matthew Lawrence and Andy Lawrence. He appeared on their podcast maybe a week ago, and they're talking about the challenge. And he's saying, a lot of us are in our, some of us are in our 40s and the young guys are in their 20s. But he was saying that there might be some type of equalizers in some of these events so that it's not so ridiculous as far as. So I was like, oh, and he
right?
hinted at that. So I don't know what we're
Oh,
actually
that's
going to
good.
see.
That's good because we do have 4 decades of competition represented here. And obviously, and I do think the casting was very good about, in era 4 or 1 or however we're doing it. Um,
Everyone's the old people.
sorry. Okay, so era one's that I just somehow lost you. There you are. Yay, I just covered the screen. But
Oh,
so the guys in that, the ones that are sticking out of my head are Theo and Polly. They're not 19. Yeah, well, and then there is Horacio. I was going to say that's not like they picked the Horacios. They did pick Horacio too.
they
I was
got
going
they
to
got a
say
Horacio,
the
yeah.
youngest of the young, but okay. So they did even it out a little bit though. So it's Horacio's decidedly on the younger side, but they did sort of, go down the middle of the road with a lot of the ages. It seems like even in
Yeah, and Mark was mentioning too on the podcast. He's like, Theo's like 6'6" and he's like an Olympic runner. Like, so I mean, how could they not help us out a little bit with this? Like, what are we doing
right.
here? Um, but yeah,
Well, that
we'll have to see what they actually do to make it a little more fair, whatever you want to
yeah.
call it. But whatever. I mean, the challenge is a challenge. I think they should just let them freaking play. But
I think it all comes down to what the challenges are. I have a few things that I want to say though before we get deeper. One, to everybody that's wondering, where's Jenna?
oh, okay.
How's Jenna? Where have you been? Jenna is working, but she's really good. And I just saw her in New Jersey and her baby, and they're all good. That's my note about that.
Yes, if you
And
want,
then,
I mean, everyone wants to know what's up with Jenna. Jenna got a
yeah,
new job.
yeah,
Congratulations to Jenna.
she'll be
And
here
she'll
with
be here
us, like
she'll be here soon. She's
continuing.
not tonight so much, but
Not
she'll be
tonight.
here continuing on. She's trying to work out her schedule right now, but we wanted to release this episode before because you and Jenna were both on vacation all last week. So like we couldn't tape. I didn't want to interrupt your vacations, and I wasn't going to do a solo. I'm sure no one wants to see Dan just talk for 60 minutes by himself about this. So we waited till tonight when you got back from your vacation. So yeah.
Dan, thank you. And everyone, thanks. And Dan, I would watch. You just talk about it by yourself
Oh,
for a long
thanks.
time.
Yeah,
But
thanks.
second, I have something really funny to tell you.
Okay.
I was playing a game. This was probably in the early 2000s with like a co-ed group of people. And we were asking a male. So
Mhm.
girls were asking a guy, it was in the Pamela Anderson day, like, okay, if she's the equivalent of a sex symbol for guys, what do you think is for girls? Like, what do you think the male one is? And our friend was like, Joey Lawrence? Like that was
Oh,
his answer. He didn't know. I was like, I mean, okay. It wasn't a terrible answer, but it's
I was gonna say Brad Pitt. I don't know why
I
Brad
think
Pitt
Brad
popped
Pitt's
up.
eternally a good answer. This was more like, I think, in the context of the game, and I don't remember what it was. It was more Carmen Electra, Pamela Anderson. It was more va va voom. It wasn't just like
Yeah.
who's hot.
Well, look,
It was
Joey
more
Lawrence
like
was a '90s heartthrob. You could throw like a Leo in there. You could throw like Mark Paul Gosselaar. I mean, you could do that.
that's. I don't know who in my head I would have imagined like who I was thinking it should have been, but I liked his answer of Joey Lawrence. I was like from Blossom because Joey Lawrence. It was past Joey Lawrence. I just thought you'd appreciate that.
Yeah, shout out to their podcast though. If you want, they air it every Friday. It's a once a week thing every Friday. It's the three brothers. They set up a studio in the basement of their house. Matt and Andy live together. They
I
set up.
didn't know there was a Matt and an Andy. I knew there was one that
Oh,
wasn't
well, okay. So
Joey.
Matt's claim to fame for me was watching him on Boy Meets World, but he's on other stuff
Right.
as well. He was on Boy Meets World. He played Sean's brother,
Oh,
Jack, and whatever. But yeah,
okay.
another podcast. Pod Meets World is another podcast I listen to on a regular basis. So I'm in the big in the 90s. Pod Meets World is about Boy Meets World. So yeah.
I will backpack on that or leapfrog onto that and say that Ryder Strong, also a very big reader, has a
Yes.
podcast called Literary Disco
Disco.
that
That
I
is
listen
correct.
to.
Yep.
Um,
I don't know if he's still doing it. Is he still doing it or is it?
I
Oh,
think so. I
he was doing
haven't,
it for
it's funny
years.
because of, because I mean, I know that it still exists, but I have definitely, oddly, would think COVID would make people more podcasty, but I guess I was in
Yeah.
my car less going to work. So a lot of my
Right.
regular podcasts I sort of fell out of. So I haven't
If you
been.
head and finally on the Ryder Strong note, if you head to my Instagram, you can see a picture of Ryder and I when I ran into him walking to a movie years ago. And I was like, I never fanboy out, but I was like, dude, I'm sorry, man, but I'm a huge fan. Can we get a picture? And he's like, sure. So we took a picture, and you'll see
Adorable.
I'm 6 feet tall, and I'm towering over this guy. He's like 5'7". Like you
Oh,
never
that's
realize
funny.
how short some actors are because
Hmm.
on the small screen or big screen they just feel like they're taller, and he is so small. It was insane. I look like a giant next to him, and I'm only 6 feet. Anyways,
It's pretty tall though.
6 feet. Yeah, I feel good about that height. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
enjoy
great.
it.
That's not like, and I'm only 6 feet. I
Right. No,
mean,
I'm solid on the 6 feet. I feel, but dude, I go to like LA parties for when I was doing the photography stuff, and there's some tall. I feel short as hell there, and I'm at 6 feet. Like some of these dudes are like
there was
next.
a guy on my return flight home in the airport. I didn't see him on the plane, but I just felt so bad for him because legit his head was, he had to be at least 6'8". Like I think he was the tallest person I've ever seen. His head was grazing the ceiling of like the airport.
Oh God.
Um,
Like
he
even
was
like in
very tall.
even in the extra leg room, I bet that dude is
I mean,
struggling.
he had to, I was like, oh, you have to fly first class at that point. Like there's no extra leg room. Like he would look like he was stuffed in a
Yeah.
child's tricycle. I mean, like he was
Yep.
very tall.
Yeah. Um, Speaking of tall, or speaking of not tall, Paulie and Cara back. Well,
Okay.
Paulie's not
So
tall.
that's a good segue. So like there's, I guess Polly is really leaning into this look and I like it. I guess.
You're for it?
I'm here for it for sure. I'm excited to see them together. I'm excited
Yeah, I'm excited they're back.
about everything. I think Polly was really astute, is what I want to say. I really liked his observation about Laurel and Cara Maria. It's very true what he said that the dynamic is like she'll always be the big sister that Cara Maria will never
Hmm.
please.
Hmm.
She'll always be mean to her. She'll always won't be good enough. And it's true.
Well, and it also looks like we're gonna get some like I wrote down Kara versus Laurel continued. Like it looks like we're gonna get that's gonna be holding down the drama for the season. I'm thinking that's gonna be a lot of the drama we're gonna see. You heard Brad also say about Kara, she loves playing the victim, and I don't disagree with Brad. No, see you do. I don't disagree. I think that Kara does. We saw okay, and I wrote Kara cries. They showed a really quick clip of her bawling her eyes out at some point during this season. We're gonna get a huge
No.
breakdown of Kara. So I mean, and I was rooting for Kara in All Stars. Maybe I'll root for her here. I don't know how I'm gonna feel. You kind of it's season to season with me and Kara, as I've found out with my life with following her on this show.
I completely agree. And I think over the years of people transitioning, changing and evolving, I think what we saw last season from Cara was like the thing that was so irritating about her, I think, to many people, Amanda included, who I'll get there. She's like, I was a little cringy and victimy. Like, Cara is self aware of that enough now. I think she's in a different, like, phase of life. And I don't think she's that person anymore.
We'll see.
Um,
I'm just saying what Brad said, and I don't necessarily disagree with it. So we'll
I
have
think
to
that's a
see.
referring to an old. I feel like let the girl grow. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a fair assessment of maybe 5 years ago, but is it fair today? I
Yeah.
don't know. And Brad also, I feel like has, sorry, these are my two observations to get out before we move on. Brad, I think, is really in a position just this season where he had a weirdly shitty last
Oh,
season
so bad.
of,
Right.
of performing, like underperformed. You know, it wasn't, I do think he's capable of a lot more. So I think he has a lot to prove, um, which is there. And then Amanda is what I want to talk about my eye roll of drama.
Why, you don't like that her and Kara made up and they're best friends now, or we're gonna
I
erase, delete the past, delete it. It's gone. The past is gone. They're
I
besties.
I liked that Amanda apologized. So I liked the way Amanda seems to have grown and taken ownership for her shitty behavior and is able to move on with Kara.
But on the
I
other hand,
don't like that the Tory, it's like, first of all, as much as I'm like Kara lives, Kara defender, I understood why she got on people's, I understand why
yes,
she's
I'm glad
not
you
likable to
realize
them.
that. Yes.
No,
Yeah.
I totally get it and can see it and stuff. Um, with Tori, with Amanda's beef with her, it's like your fate. It's one of the weakest, lamest. For someone like Amanda, who I think prides herself on like kind of being real and starting real shit, it's like, oh, you don't. This Tori didn't do anything to you, really. You might not like her that much, but like your fake is like the most reality show bullshit. Like, there's no real. I just feel like Amanda's in that regard, it's a miss for me,
I
dog. She's
think
just
I think Devin's gonna kind of put a nip in the bud of that because he's just like he's gonna be making him laugh the whole time. Like, what do you guys do? What are we doing? We're on the same team. I think Devin's got enough humor in him to kind of make that situation kind of die down because he's such good friends with Tori. At least, um, I didn't mean to just start talking about Devin, but we did get that little hint from Michelle. Like she kept saying how funny he is, and I believe they're dating now, right? We've seen this on social media.
they totally are.
By the way, Pam, and I'll let you comment on that in a second here. I feel like I've seen almost all of these clips on this one episode already on social media. Like I follow way too many shows, after shows for the challenge. Like for the last month, I've been watching these clips, not knowing where they're coming from. Just like, oh, that's funny. Brad said that about this person, or this is happening. And then they all got shown tonight. I was like, oh, I've already seen. I literally 30 minutes out of the 50 minutes or whatever this length was, I've already seen. I'd already seen it.
And we've been in this game before. This is their preview package. It's their pre-show. I'm sure they were allowed to do clips of it. Whatever. I'm here for whatever they're gonna do. But yes, I don't think it's really hard to keep most things under wraps. So
Right.
hopefully some things will be kept for us who don't like a spoiler. We'll get some stuff that's a surprise when we watch the show, and I'm sure we'll get some stuff. But I have a question. If we could go over that season is the weirdest to me. That
Hmm.
Devin Tori, that era. Who's in this group?
Uh, Devin, Tori, Casey, who, oh my goodness, we got one shot of her not talking tonight for the whole hour. I can't believe that. I'm surprised they didn't do a whole section dedicated to her big win with CT that he gave to her. No, thank God they didn't. But Casey's on that team. That's my Casey rant for the evening. Theo's on that team. Horacio, Kyland,
Okay.
and Nerese, like you're those people. So it's
And
very
Olivia, how many? 10? How many people are on each?
Olivia. It looks like 10. And it's so funny for era three that
Josh is in that one too, right? With
Josh is in
Josh is in
the era
the
four.
Casey one. Right.
Yeah,
These
yeah,
people, that one that we
yeah.
just did.
But
It's
it's
funny to me that Tori and Horacio, I mean, I get it that the last 10 are in the same era. I just feel like a Devin and a Tori and a Horacio are like such worlds apart. But
no, hold on, hold on. We might be mixing this up. Let me find my notes.
yeah, let's
I
look
didn't
at
write
our.
down. I wrote it down in our last one we did. We broke down the eras. Isn't Tori who's era three then? I thought Tori was in era
I
three.
think we might be conflating eras 3 and 4.
I'm never gonna find my notes for that one,
I mean, I
unfortunately,
have the
probably.
internet in the palm of my hand. I can just look it up.
Yeah, do that while I try to find. I had them all written down in here, but there's no way I'm finding it. I have notes from like years past here that I never throw away because I'm totally
Okay.
gonna make a book out of this or something. Um,
Right?
yeah, I think
You
let
should
me, I
one
can look it
day.
up too. But I think era three is, I can just go on the challenge thing. They have all the pictures.
Yeah.
Obviously, era two is bananas and all the girls like Cara and Laurel and all that. But I'm thinking era three has Jordan and
Okay. I
Tori.
got it.
Era
We
three
did
is Jordan and
conflate.
Tori. Yeah, era three is
Did.
Jordan and Tori. Because it's funny because they showed a blank silhouette of Jordan. Did you see this?
So I was going to say, where's Jordan? Where's Jordan?
Well,
This whole
he was coming back. He's a professional race car driver now, apparently. He was coming back from a race. But the fact that throughout the episode, like we don't already know because of social media, he's on that team. They showed a blank on the bottom right of just his silhouette. And I was like, the whole time I'm
right.
thinking, and then it's funny, after they showed the silhouette, the next shot they showed was him pulling that rope in that one elimination he had against whoever he had, like struggling to pull it. And I was like, okay, they just showed the blank where he is, wondering who we're down a teammate. Then they showed a picture of him like, guys, do you not think that social media exists?
I didn't get it at all.
Pamela,
I didn't know,
Pamela,
and
the
I think I
silhouette looked
knew.
just like him. The silhouette looked just like him,
I
Pamela.
didn't. I didn't listen. It's the end of the day. My brain is not. It's. I'm like, oh, who is the next person? But anyway, yeah, I didn't catch it. And I have another snotty, not snotty, but jerky
Can
observation.
I give you era three real quick, just so we don't mix these
Yeah.
up?
Yes.
So yeah, it's Devin, Avery, Tony Time, Jordan, Naya, Amanda, Tori, Corey, uh, John A, and Leroy. That's era three.
Strange.
That's
Right. What a
era three.
strange. Yeah, that's a good, but a strange. Like they're
Well,
good.
we have to realize, are you the one, let's be real, are you the one premiered in like 2011, 2012? I'll have to look up the original season, but Tori was on one of those original seasons of it. So they've been around for quite some time. And I remember I didn't get to AfterBuzz until season 32, which I know was in like 2017, right? So, and well, I'm just saying,
Like I know anything.
and
Yeah,
like
no.
Jordan was on the Real World Portland along with Avery before I moved to LA, like in
Yeah.
2009, 2000, so like this has been a while now. I mean, it's really interesting. And like that new era, I mean, you're looking at people from like just a few years past. And it's basically when they went to like when they went to start pulling people from Big Brother and from Europe and the world, basically. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I don't know. So, but anyways, go on with what you were gonna say.
So
Sorry.
mine is that, you and I have discussed before, and I have another funny story to tell you about this. Do you love Island? Did you love Island at all?
I've done a few seasons. My favorite, the Love Island that I got really into was the one where they filmed on the rooftop of Vegas during COVID.
Okay. Did you do this one at all or no? This most recent
I
one?
heard it's really good. I
I
heard
mean,
it's really good.
it is good, meaning it's on every night and there was nothing else on, but good, I don't know.
Too many episodes. Too many episodes though. Why are there 80 episodes? I can't deal with that.
I watched it anyway. So, I'm like, this look that these women have today. I'm not trying to be a hater, but boy, it's something. Now, that's me, and I'm 1 foot in that world, 1 foot not. I'm that age where I'm like, what, girls, you're pretty as you are, but
Yeah.
I get it that these younger girls do this stuff. So I was watching Love Island on vacation at a lake with my family, and my dad walked in the room and was like, "What's wrong with them?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "What is wrong with all those
Yeah.
people on this show
I
that you're
know.
watching?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he was just like, what's wrong with them?" Like he was concerned.
They look different to
He
me.
was
What is
like,
going
what's
on?
happening? Is the TV on a weird thing? Like, what's going on? And I was like, oh, he's real. He's actually old. I'm like, this is what girls look like today. This is what some of them, not, I'm like, listen,
Of
because
course not.
not all of them, but some of them. And he was like, but why?
Yeah.
It was like, they're trying to look like real life, like people use filter. I don't know. I was trying to give an answer to that.
It's funny because like most people like is your dad, you were saying, right? And like me, like guys like us, like your dad, me, guys that just like think somewhat logically about things, like it doesn't, you don't look as good. I don't know why they think they look better. Like I don't.
So when they do to these other Love Island bras, they do, which brings me to we've talked about what the women are doing. The guys, the new thing, and Jordan has it, and Bananas has it now, is like the porn stash, like the mullet. I don't know who's bringing this back and who thinks it's cool. And I know a lot of the cool guys
I
of
really wish
today
I
are
showed up
doing
tonight
this.
with just a mustache just to see if you'd even say the comment. If I was rocking just a stash. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I would just rock a stash. I just grow it out and then I just trim it down again and let it grow back. But that's the new thing.
Oh, 5 o'clock shadow. This is like obviously a thing that
No,
a
they're doing it on
style that
purpose. It's a
the
purpose.
kids are doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's a mustache. I don't. Doesn't bother me personally. I at least yeah, but
It's
what
not
I
the
can
mustache that like Jordan also has always had hair adventures, like his Dumb and Dumber.
he's
So I like forgive
adventurous.
him more. And I do think he's someone that plays with fashion. Like I'm not, again, I'm not, I don't know, whatever. But there is a wave right now of like the douchebag mullet amongst social influencer reality TV dudes. And I can't stand behind that, Dan.
You're not feeling it. You're not feeling the mullet.
No, I guess it's in line with the 90s thing being back in style and stuff. It's just the way I feel like if I'm gonna make fun of that, I just want to be an equal opportunity. If I'm gonna say stop doing weird stuff to your pretty little faces, I'm
Yeah.
gonna say, guys, just have regular hair.
Yeah. I look, I'm pumped that the 90s are back. The 90s, my favorite era going so far. But let me throw out why what I will not jump back into. In the 90s and early 2000s, wearing the big old baggy ass jeans and stuff, I was in everyone else had it, so I had to have it. I couldn't afford the Jinko jeans, which were like the more expensive ones. I bought Zones. Someone in the comment section is gonna know what these are. Zones. They had a Z on the ass. There's on this on the one of the pockets on the ass, and they were called Zone jeans. And my mom, I think it
ZOONZ
was
zones.
Z-O-N-Z, I think, or Z-O-N-E-Z, something like that. But I had Zone jeans. They were the big baggy ones, and I'd rock some like Airwalks or some Vans with those, and that was it.
I
But everything
like
else in
the
the 90s, I'm
music
okay with.
of the 90s. That's my jam. I like the
Okay, so
90s.
see,
I
you're
just
okay
don't
with
like the
so you're
fashion.
in.
I like everything about the 90s. I didn't like the 90s fashion when I was like in it. So I always thought
See, and I
that
didn't know
everything
any
else.
better. Like I thought when the 90s were when girls were wearing bell-bottom jeans again, I was like, oh, bell-bottom jeans are back from the 70s. That's what girls wear. They wear bell-bottom with I'm not just talking where they go a little over the shoe. I'm talking where they were like umbrellas around
Mhm.
each shoe. Or
Yes, yes.
parachutes, I should say. Parachutes around each. It was insane.
And
I was
then,
like,
but just the whole skater look, like it's the, I don't mind the 70s that the 90s stole, but the 90s of just the big pants and baby doll, I'm not into it. I wasn't into it then. Again, I'm no fashion plate, so I can't sit here. These are my opinions, but it's funny because I don't know any, like,
I don't
admitted fully admit that I have no like fashion sense. So I have what appeals to me, but I'm
sure.
not saying I obviously somebody likes these and there's stylish people that are doing these things. But to me, I find it like visually jarring the like 90s mullet cut that's back. And I'm like, please don't have that. You're a good looking guy. Don't do that.
Yeah. But and it's funny too because now though they're kind of going the other way too with some fashion items where they make things too tight. Like there are some pairs of shorts that they're doing now
Oh,
and
mhm.
pants and they're going too tight with it. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm a dude and there's things happening down here. How do you not have room? I went to an event on Saturday night that I was working, right? And this is the guy was wearing very tight pants
Okay.
and they were so tight that he had to decide which leg his friend was going to go down. And I didn't mean to look, but it was just right there. And I'm like, I don't want my guy to have to decide which way
My
to hang it. He was going down it was insane. Like this, how is that
I
comfortable?
want to
Why would
see
you
it.
wear
I
something like
want to
that?
see the decision you made about which pant leg you're going to tuck your friend into.
It's
But I
crazy to
guess
me.
someone does. Again, there's someone likes this. We're not the audience for this, but somebody is like on Love Island. The girls and the guys match each other in whatever that is.
Yeah,
They all are like that. Like somebody, the guys like the girls that look like that, and the girls like the guys that look like that. So whereas it's not for me or my dad,
I don't know.
I think
Yeah.
they look stupid. They think each other look good. So again,
I
someone's
think
liking this.
I don't know. It's hard for me to think outside the box on this one because I see what I like and I'm just like, how do other dudes are like, yes, I want to have cake on the face on my face sometime. I just want it. I want big lips and just but hey,
We
look,
don't know.
to bring it back to the show, Theo and Olivia, they are like speaking of someone that has done some stuff. They look like they're gonna be a lot of fun to watch. They look like they're gonna be a super cute couple, and they're being Theo is being super flirty with her in the pool, and they showed it to us.
Yes.
He like said like her butt was out or something. He commented on her butt,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and that reminded me of early 2000s where they're actually going to show something.
Leroy
Well,
Cam.
I
Are
mean,
we
her
talking
ass was.
butts?
Say it again.
That was a cute Leroy Cam moment a long time ago, not on the show last night, but remember when Cam was lying sort of on top of Leroy when they
Mhm.
were still just dating? He was playing with the butt and it was cute.
Right.
Like
Well, and
butt
and
moment.
also like you got that pool party that we did see tonight felt very old school. Everyone was getting naked, mostly dudes, whatever, but they were mostly getting naked. And Bananas pushed Anissa into the pool with all her clothes. That's classic Bananas being, stirring the pot, having fun. And then this is where you got the Michelle moment where she thought because they took the comment from Derek saying how many hot people is it Derek the not Derek K. Wait, what's the other one? Ryan, not Ryan, but Ryan's bestie.
Rick,
It's Derek K.
Rick.
He said how many hot people were on the show this season, and then they cut to a shot of Devin acting ridiculous butt naked with his like totally dad bod, and it
Yeah,
just was a perfect
yeah.
cut. So producers, great job on the cut. That was very
Mhm.
funny. But yeah, the pool party was very entertaining. That was fun. So like,
It's great. It's
they're having some
giving good
fun.
old school vibes.
Hmm.
Like I can't I feel like knock on wood. I feel like it'd be hard to fuck this up, knock on wood, but like just
Yeah,
last night was great and nothing happened and they didn't do
yeah.
anything. And it
I
just
like that. So see, I like that TJ came out and he did some stuff because obviously they don't know when this stuff's airing. This could have been part of episode one, right? Let's be honest. It didn't have to
Mhm.
be an episode zero thing. But tell me that this didn't like the cheesiness of the Devin and Devon stuff. Was that weird to you? Because it was really weird to me. Like it didn't it they it was barely first of all they barely showed him at all. They really didn't. It felt like awkward every time they showed him. They only showed him a few times throughout the night. They each asked each era cast the same question. It was stupid. It just felt really out of place, awkward, weird. I know that they're trying to promote the challenge after show. The podcasts are huge now. That's why they had him on. They said they're the hosts of it, even though technically Anissa and Tori were the original hosts, and then they added these. No, no, who were the original hosts? Was it Anissa and Tori were the original hosts, but they added Devon and Devin to that cast because the other girls had to go film a lot. Did you see that interview stuff with the
Yes, yes,
microphones? It
I
was
saw
weird.
it. Saw it all. It was so seemed like there was a red carpet event that was intercut with it, like with Devin and Davon. And it's funny because I really like Devin, and she seems very natural to me, and it doesn't bother
Oh,
me.
she's
Like
she's
her,
good. She's good
she yeah, she
at
is,
hosting.
and the way that the show, I didn't even think about it until now. I didn't so much question it because they do things like this on The Bachelor. They'll have like it's opening night and I'm here with whatever, a sort of red carpet interview cutaway spliced to some promotion of the show that's happening this season, you'll see. So it kind of felt like that to me. So it
Yeah.
didn't feel as weird. It felt like there was some sort of red carpet thing going on where the people were dressed nicely and standing in a group and that was almost separate from all the footage that they made the show out of. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but wasn't there a moment when there was a moment, maybe it was just it wasn't with the cast. It was like with TJ was with Devin
Yes.
and
Yeah.
and Devin had her arm or her
Well,
elbow on. I was like,
I
what is
don't know.
this?
I don't know, but there's been some drama that I thought was funny just because Wes gonna Wes, and I liked it.
Oh,
Where Davon, I guess they just did press for this, so I'm
I saw.
thinking, yeah. So they did press, the press day, the way a network will do their upfronts or whatever happened. And I guess Dave Vaughn was saying, I'm not doing 2 free days of press, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
and
what
took
was
to
that
Twitter
about? I
about that.
saw that. What was the 2 free days
I
of
don't
press thing?
know, but Wes, which I thought was funny. And again, instead of totally messing this up, let me just read what Wes said because it was
I'm sorry,
funny. Because I was like,
I get you want to be paid for everything, but like
it's all she's doing is press, right? I mean, she's not a part
what
of this cast.
why can't she do press? Like, why not get your name out there some more, Davon? Like, what? Like, come on. I don't know. I don't know the whole story, so I can't really comment on it. But it was I saw it multiple times that they wrote like 2 days of free press, and I was like, wait, what's
Right.
the point of writing that? Who cares if it's free press? Press
Well,
is
that's so. This is what Wes said that I was like, because it stuck out to me. And I was like, well, aren't you just paid to do the prep? I mean, like you're the host. So I didn't get that. But Wes said this. Let's be honest. Not everyone did that press tour for free. Second, doing several days of free press is baked into a contract. Every single cast member is already paid to be there.
Yep.
Flaunting one's greed and ineptitude about what you signed isn't the flex you think it is.
So he was giving Davon crap for this.
Like that was a direct, like, I made them pay me for press. It's like, yeah, and I'm sure CT's agent was like, in his contract,
Yeah.
he wants X amount per episode that will include 2 days of press. What Wes is
Yeah.
saying, it's like, listen, yeah, I thought it was
Dude, like, my God, the life that they lead, like, you get to go and do press. You get to have people actually want to talk to you about crap. You think anyone cares about what I have to
her
say? Like,
job and she's working. Like, I'm not calling her out for wanting to be paid for that,
I am a little bit because I don't know.
but
It's a different
she's
world
not
to
a
me.
cast member. I'm calling her out for
She's not even,
exactly.
she's a host of an after
She's
show
not
for
a cast
a
member. So I'm saying
podcast.
I'm calling her out for what? It's like surely you're not doing free press for that. You're the press. Like you are the interviewer at that point. Like you're the
Look, I don't know
press.
what she gets. I don't know what she gets paid for doing the challenge, whatever it's called, official challenge podcast.
Something, and I'm
She
sure
has to be making
she
something
gets
on that.
paid to do whatever she did that night. So I don't understand why I don't know. Maybe I'm even misinterpreting
Yeah,
Wes's dig, and it's
it
not
was
about
very,
her, but
I don't know. I'm sure someone in the comment section will tell us more things that we don't know about that. But yeah, it was a little weird on seeing it on social media. Like, wait, what does this mean? What does this mean? I don't get it. Um, okay. I do want to talk about a few more things. I got to talk about people that we wanted to see on the season.
okay.
Okay. Because as it's going through the eras and here's the thing, they started showing clips of people from the past that are not cast. And I said, I want them on. Why aren't they here? So the first one I saw obviously was Coral. And I said, Coral, how could they not try to get her? I give her whatever she
Sure
wants.
they did. I'm
You
sure they
think,
did.
I mean, like, but so Coral, and then you're never gonna get the Miz. I get it, but if you got Coral and the Miz together, because they were like the duo, they were on the original the New York back to New York. You know, they were on that Real World together, and they had their like differences, but then they became really good friends or friendly or whatever you want to call it. They would have been amazing.
Amazing.
And I can name more obviously, but I'll start with
I
those.
think I've heard Oral speak to this. I'm not sure what I'm making up and what is real, but I
Yeah.
definitely feel like Coral addressed this at some point somewhere to someone and said, like, I have a job and I can't go to the challenge. And like,
No, I get it. Yeah.
that
But
she's
she
like,
is to me, like to me, when Jordan came in at the end of the episode, I said, he is era three. Like when you look at all the people they cast for era three, like who is the most famous and the best challenger to come out of era three? It's Jordan. Like you can do like who's the most famous to come out of era two? It's obviously Bananas, Laurel, and Kara. Like those are the ones. Oh, and then is CT era one?
CT, I think, is considered era one because he did Real World Paris. So he's with
No,
those.
it's not
So
even.
that,
It's not based on their real world season. It's based on when they actually did the challenge, the first challenge season. I
uh,
thought about that too, and yeah, CT's an era one, but it's yeah, I thought that too. But obviously, right after he did Real World Paris, he went and filmed his first season because they talked about his first season of the challenge on tonight's episode. Um, but anyways, bring it back. I'll just name my other players. Wes. Wes has to be with Bananas. I don't. I know Wes had a kid. They probably tried to get him, pay him more, figure something out because Wes needs to be there with Bananas because they became friendly and they are really fun to watch together. And to see them compete in era two would have been phenomenal. You can get rid of Derek. You can get rid of Ryan. What the hell are we doing? Why is he back? I know Nehemiah and is it Brandon? Like Nehemiah, maybe because Nehemiah would have been great with Wes because they're actually really good friends. I agree. I don't need him either. I'm just saying if I had to choose someone, have Nehemiah with Wes because they are good friends. They were on Austin, Real World Austin together, and there's a lot of history there. But that season for the guys is awful. It really is not great. But anyways, so I'm thinking Wes there. Sarah, why isn't Sarah back? And I know there was controversy. I saw it online. Her and Susie, I think there was some issue. Like maybe they were both asked back. There was some issue where they were, but they weren't. But they didn't do it because they wanted more mental health stuff to be covered for. Again, convoluted. All social media trying to understand it a month ago. No idea. But Sarah should be here too. And if that's her fault, that's her fault for not doing it. But they should have got her for season 40 to redeem herself after what happened with her and Bananas. She's never been back since, Pamela. This has been a huge, huge get for them. Missed opportunity for sure.
Some, and by some I mean a ton of information about that, the
Mm,
Sarah and Susie thing, and I
yeah,
don't know what it is because I
I
was at,
know.
but we'll so know. Someone tell us because I don't know exactly what happened. And I know part of it's rumor and part of it's this, or
That's the problem with it, Bam. I
they
don't know
asked
what's
one
real
and
and
they
what's
didn't.
not.
Yeah.
It's tough. Anyways,
Well, I don't know, but I agree. Forget reality. Just you'd like to see, and I
yes.
support these picks.
Oh, ready for this
Yeah.
next one. Why isn't Paula there? Why couldn't they find Paula somewhere?
But,
Paula. I mean, Paula
mhm,
was such a big player in this game back. I mean, she would be era
mhm.
either one or two. I'm not sure which. Maybe two. Maybe she'd be on, but maybe there wasn't room. That era two is
Oh,
stacked with
I'm
girls.
not, I would love to see Paula. I'm sure a lot of these people are. I think that I
They've
don't know.
moved on. They're done with the challenge. They don't need to be here anymore. They have a family. They got shit to do. Yeah, real
Yeah,
jobs. I don't
I
know.
think that a lot of them probably were approached and weren't able to swing
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Landon was another big one for me. Like, why isn't Landon there? Um,
I forgot about Landon. Yeah,
he was huge. I mean, he was on the same season. He was on Real World Philly with MJ and I forget who
yeah,
else. But I remember watching that season. Great season.
yeah.
Um, Someone you'll never get because I think she's having a lot of issues is Robin. I saw some stuff with her. Like you're not getting Robin, but Robin back in the day was a classic challenger. But she's going through some issues right now. So I don't even think even if she wanted to do it, I don't think they'd want her on the show based on what's going on in her life. Um, and then I wrote down Zach and Jenna just to piss you girls off, but Jenna's not here. That would really make her mad. And then I wrote down Kyle. Kyle was my last one. Kyle would be a good one, I think, for an era 3 or 4. I think era 3 he'd probably be in. But Kyle, I think Kyle would be fun with the drama. Maybe something with Cara, but not really. But Kyle, yeah,
What? Sorry, the last word I missed from you.
Kyle the pirate. Maybe there's something with him and Cara
Oh,
still.
no, like God, yes, that would be
I
great.
love how I had to describe him as Kyle the pirate just so to get you
It's
to
like
remember.
Kyle, like I needed hair because Kyle, he doesn't. All of a
Right?
sudden, I'm like Kyle.
Yeah, yeah. Kyle
Doesn't
the
seem like a
pirate,
Kyle.
who's not a
Yeah,
pirate anymore, but was a pirate at one point.
yeah. Kyle would be great. Actually, he was always a great. Yeah, Kyle
Yeah.
would be amazing.
And that's
Uh,
everyone I could think of really that I really wanted to see. But Alton, someone like Alton, bring Alton. But we saw Alton in All Stars. He's kind of chilled out, so maybe Alton could come back. I mean, I don't know. Just throwing out some names there,
pretty.
but
I gotta say, I hate to. I'm pretty happy with the cast. There's a handful of like, huh?
handful.
But it is what it is. But I think they've done a banger job on each era of having enough
Like,
people that are
like
super
maybe,
interested.
like, look, I don't remember. I remember Aviv won with Darrell one season, like
I
back
don't remember Aviv at all. I,
again. Maybe she's gonna have a great season, and we're all gonna fall in love with her, and she's gonna be the rookie that we haven't seen. That's not technically a rookie, but we haven't seen her forever. She's like a rookie. But I don't care if she's there. Give me Paula. Give me whoever else would fit in that slot for that era. I'll take them over
I
Aviv.
agree, but I think realistically, there's obviously obstacles, and I don't think Aviva was on the top of the list either. But
No.
who knows? Maybe she'll again, like I don't know. Because the rest of it is so good, I sort of have faith
Yeah.
in stuff, and I do. Both of us need to do. There's a lot of drama about people calling out production, so we're
Yeah.
gonna have
What
to
was
stay
it
tuned
was
for that. I
mostly
don't know. I don't
mostly
know. I
Jordan.
feel
It was Jordan and then someone else backed him up. Who backed
Theo.
him?
There's a lot of Theo I've seen lately.
Did Ryan
Um,
back him up too? Did Ryan back up Jordan? I'm trying to think
don't
someone else did.
know because again, I've been like absent from so
I
much,
know
and
it's
I'm
hard to
just
keep up
waiting
with
to
it.
dive in because I don't like to pregame with my gossip. I like to I need to know more about that. Like once I've started watching the show, so
Right.
I tend to dive in a lot deeper
Well, I don't know if
once
Jordan,
the
I mean,
shows
it
begin.
sounded like Jordan was being super serious about it, but he was basically saying like that when you go to that house, no matter how long you're there, that you go out, you leave out of shape, you leave mentally whatever. And you didn't see this Jordan one? That was Jordan talking about this.
I saw something Jordan again. I haven't dug deep into.
Yeah, I
I
know.
do
It's
like
fine.
follow Jordan, so I probably heard 8 seconds of it. But it also didn't seem like he was complaining so much about there were more issues. I think a lot of other people are calling out result. I'm assuming that they're calling out resulty things more
Oh,
than
really?
I
I
think so. I don't know though. Again,
I Jordan's and that's fine
Jordan's
if they
was just
are.
saying it's a hard on about the body. That's what
Yeah.
I sort of
But
took.
he
I
was also
didn't
saying
think
that production what could do more maybe to help them with that. He was talking about really long shoot days. Um, maybe not a lot of time off. I don't know. I'll have to
so
realize.
a production of a show is
But
though, like whether it's
this is why we have so many fans of the Challenge After Show because they're gonna write in the comment section everything that we need to know that we missed on social media.
show.
Because you know what? We were on summer break, Pamela, and we deserve a little time off. But at the same time, I think I did a pretty good job keeping up with stuff. There's a ton of stuff on social media right now. And to keep up with it, it is a daily job in all
You
honesty.
did good. I did less good. I've been on a lake in the middle of
You
nowhere
should. You
for a
deserve
couple of
it.
weeks, so
We had a
I
strenuous Pamela. We had a strenuous shoot schedule for about 12 months because it went from challenge to all stars to challenge to all stars back and forth for a while there. So
yeah,
the fact that we got 6 weeks off was actually pretty damn sweet. Okay,
yeah.
the last thing I really want to bring up, and you can bring up whatever else you want to as well, but did you get teary at all during this 50 minutes? Of course, me too. So I started watering when CT went into that house and they started reminiscing about the DM stuff because in theory, DM should be here too. Let's be real. I know that there's no possible way for her to be, but I think that was really great what they did putting up those pictures. They didn't even look like pictures, they almost looked like hand
No,
drawn.
it was like it was a weird.
It was
That's my
cool.
shout out to production. No, it's like the picture came to life. I don't know
Well,
what they did.
that was in editing, but like the picture that was there almost looks like it's like a hand drawn
I
type of
mean, you can,
artistic.
yeah.
It was
It
really
was
cool.
gorgeous though, and that moment was
Great
I know the
editing.
word is
Yep.
overused now, but iconic for real. And DM takes that
Super
thing off.
iconic.
I mean,
And you
that
know
was
what's funny,
iconic. And
Pam? At that time, you think I don't know if we realize. I mean, it's iconic always, but did we realize how iconic it was gonna? It's hard to remember. I just remember watching it
at
thinking this is
the
a great
time,
episode. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's hard to.
at the time, I remember being like, gasp. Because she looked so fucking badass.
Yeah,
It wasn't like she did it and she was bald and she looked sad and sick. She took it, which had been so
yeah.
upsetting to her, obviously, but to everyone else, she looked like fucking GI
And,
Jane,
like,
as
and also,
CT said.
I can't think of a time in my life where I was more into the challenge than that time. And this is a time before social media, before you would have like imagine if they had all that existing. Like I'd be like following up on every episode to see what's going on, what's going on. All I could do was watch, and literally, I think it must have been. Was it a 30-minute episode or was it was an hour episode. Now it's an hour and a half. But it was an hour episode back in the day. And that's all we got was basically 40 minutes a week. And it was must see TV,
Yeah.
pure obsession. Every time they announced it, because the only and like back in the day, I never went online to find out when the next season of the challenge was going to be. I would just be randomly watching another reality show on MTV, and all of a sudden, at the end of one of the episodes or mid-episode, they just show it up. Hey, guess what? 2 weeks from now, get ready. We're airing another season of the challenge. Like, it's on again. Like I never would know when it was coming. I miss those days because it was such a surprise and it was just so fun. And it was like it was so good. It was such must watch TV.
Yeah. I also really liked about with DM, I really liked because I think DM's first season was Fresh Meat when she was with Derek.
She came in on the
And
fresh meat season for sure. She never appealed on the real world or road rules. So that's the only way she
it
could get
was
on was fresh meat.
obviously, and I support the overshadow of CT and DM's relationship overshadowed Derek and DM's flirtation or whatever. But I do, they did have a special relationship. And I like that Derek was given his due time to talk about his
Yeah.
feelings about DM as well, because of course, CT and DM is great story, but there's a little sub story, and I feel
It
that.
is it is the greatest love story of the challenge. You're not there's no other what are we gonna say? What do we say?
Well,
Tori and Jordan who are already divorced, or they didn't even get married, right? They just broke off their
I don't
engagement.
think they ever got
Yeah, they
married.
never got married. Who are we gonna say? Cara and Polly, who are still dating after 6 years. By the way, I mentioned they've been together for 6 years now. We saw on social media they're not together, but then Polly recently posted a picture
They
with
sort
him
of
with his arm.
are.
What was the point? But so if they're
Only
together, Pamela, if they're together, why were pictures deleted off of Instagram? What's the point of doing that? Is it just to get more people following them? Is this a bullshit publicity stunt? Like, what is the reason behind it? Because I'm sorry, but it doesn't make
officially
sense to me.
announced. They didn't officially announce a breakup.
No, I know that.
She stopped following him. So everyone was just wildly speculating, Dan, they didn't, I don't know. Is it a publicity stunt? Maybe.
If you're going to
Or is it
purposely
just a normal relationship that's living itself out publicly? Like if you were having problems with Stacy and you unfollowed her because you didn't, for whatever,
well,
and the
first of
world was
all, if I unfollowed
retarded.
Stacey, nobody would even notice or care. But besides
I'm
that,
like, they're in, if you had speculators.
but
Um,
but but you're telling me Kara didn't know what she was doing when she unfollowed Polly? Like, come on, it got her name back in there, ready for this
I
season.
think
I
there's,
wouldn't.
I would guess that it is real, and but that like a real person might not want to follow their significant other that they're going through a sort
That's
of
fair. Or you can say
separation
this.
with.
Or
But
you
they
can
also
say
weren't like announcing a breakup. I feel like it's just I don't know what
Or
you,
you
you
here's but or you can say it's Dan's first conspiracy of the season for season 40, where producers said, "Hey, Cara, look, we were trying to get publicity for the season. You're coming back. This is your big debut. Yeah, you were on All Stars. Big deal. That's on Paramount Plus. This is network cable. So
MTV.
this is MTV. We've been around since the 80s. So what I want you to do, can you just unfollow Polly for a week and we'll just freaking boom with ratings? So I don't know, whatever. So who cares? Anyways, but
I
there's
mean,
a conspiracy.
I'm not. I think it's very possible. I would be remiss if I didn't admit that they don't know what they're doing when they do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't really care. I like them and I hope that they're together. So I was always hoping that those rumors were false.
Yeah. Well, being together with someone for 6 years, it's like, I guess I've talked about this before on the show. Take that next step or don't. Like 6 years. I mean, I know your marriage isn't. I know, Pamela. Not everyone needs to get married,
They
but
can do whatever they want. I
I
mean,
I know. But to me, I don't know. I knew. Here's my point. I knew when I found Stacy that it wasn't just like I want to be with Stacy my whole life. No, it was I want to literally give her a ring and I want to wear a ring and I want to show people, look, like this
right,
is
but
it.
you were
And
looking
maybe,
for someone to give a ring to and have a baby with. Like they might not be looking for that.
well, I
And
have
they
friends that are
found
married
you,
that never want to have kids too, though. So
but not even never want to have kids, but that's not, they weren't looking for as traditional a partner, or maybe they are and they just aren't there
well,
yet. I
look,
have no
if it
idea.
works for them, more power to them. But when you unfollow
Being
someone,
Kurt.
hmm,
They've been together, Kurt
6 years.
Russell and Goldie Hawn. I mean,
I
they're not
mean,
married.
right.
They've been together.
All I'm saying is you unfollow them for a reason, and most people aren't going to believe my conspiracy. So clearly you unfollowed him because you didn't want to see him posting things on social media. If that's what a normal person would do. You unfollow someone because you don't want to see their crap. I don't want to be reminded of that. It helps not to see that person. I've been in breakups before. I get how it works. So you really must have been broken up because I don't understand what's going on.
Really were. And I think that, again, according to, I've been on a break, but I'm never on a break from Kara. I think that they are now, since from all the things I've seen, it seems like in reality, they were
So
having problems
So
and that
why did they break?
potentially
What
they
were
are,
what were those problems? Because I know they're a public couple. In
I don't
theory, we need to know because they're a public. Like, wait.
know.
We need to know everything. Like, you guys should be telling us because you're a public couple. You're famous and you're in the
No one
whatever.
has revealed that.
What's that?
No one had revealed that to
Someone
me.
in the comments
So
section knows something. Tell us why did they get why was it
the
unfollowing
alleged
happening?
reasons for their separation.
We
And then he said they were working it out, and that appears to be true based on the last picture that he posted. But again,
yeah.
I don't know. I have to read into their behavior on the show before I can start diagnosing the status of their relationship.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, this has been great. I'm glad we got to chat about episode 0. Episode 1's going to air in just a couple days. We're obviously going to cover it hopefully on Thursday because Wednesday night, by the time that thing's over, it
At
ain't
least
going to
it's the
happen.
middle of the night for Jenna. Yeah, we have
It's
to.
middle of the night for Jenna. We're not going to put Jenna up at 11 p.m. when she has a baby to do an hour long after show. So we're thinking Thursday right now, but we'll keep you all posted and you'll see it obviously on your YouTube. Follow us so that you don't miss any episodes too. That way you get alerted. All those alerts that they
Abram. What if they like brought Abram back and see?
another one. See,
Yeah.
that's there. I missed one.
Can you
Abram is
imagine Cara with Kyle, Abram, and Polly in one seat?
amazing.
Oh my God.
Amazing. Like that's a show right
Amazing.
there. Let's do a show where they all live in a house together, just the four of them. That'd be
Yep.
great.
It would be great.
It would be great. Like, why aren't they? Why doesn't MTV think outside? MTV would give you gold every week. Why don't you take
Every
the
week.
bait?
Every week we're giving you gold. Yeah. And again, I was pumped on the Cara Rachel friendship that never got to be from All Star. So hopefully we'll get to see them become friends.
Yeah. Oh, but you saw TJ. Did you hear TJ that he's like eliminate on like the first night they're eliminating 10 people off each team. So someone brought into the comments section, which doesn't make sense. Too many people gone, right? Someone said, I bet there's a redemption house where they get to try to get back in. I was
Okay,
like,
10 people off each team. You mean 10 people total? There only are
I
10 people.
swore they said 10 people off each team. However, how would they take off 10 people off four teams? The
It's
math
only
doesn't
10
math.
people on. Yeah, that's
There's
not.
only there's no wait, I'm sorry. There's oh you're right. There's 10 people in each team. So maybe they meant 10 people altogether, but how do you take 10 people off of so I guess it's gonna be like when it was like good guys versus bad guys, and like when you got to the final, there was like four good guys and eight bad guys, but didn't the teams didn't have to be the same amount. So that could be what it is. Yeah,
I
for sure.
think I'll tell you what I think. I think
Ooh.
there's going to be it's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8. So a guy and a girl are going to lose the daily elimination on each team and be purged right away, maybe, and then there'll be an elimination, and that which two
I
more.
just think you have too many heavy hitters to take away 10 people. I know it's from all 40.
So
What, you're
yeah,
down to 30 people now, and you might have lost. Like, what if you lost? What if you lose like CT, Jordan, Tori, Devin? What if all like the ones that you want to see, they're gone? Like, yeah, Ryan and Derek, you can go home. That's fine, whatever. But like, not Derek K. I want Derek K to stick around. But you know what I mean? Like,
leave Ryan and Derek alone.
I'm
Um,
I'm just saying they're not great. They've never been great challengers. I don't know why they're here. Brandon can go home.
yeah, I don't know. These are the things we tune in for. I
Yeah.
don't even know.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, we'll see y'all in a couple days. We're pumped about it. Pamela, great chat with you. Glad you're back
You
safe
too.
from your vacay. And
Thank
we
you.
will talk in a few days. I have to figure out how to end this live. Oh, here, I can end it right here. Look at that. Stop recording.
Why does my room look green to you?
It's got a vibe going.
The
What's this?
green. I don't know. I
No,
feel
there
like
it
there's a
goes. It looks more green
ghost.
now. There it
Yeah.
goes.
I don't know why. We didn't paint the walls green. There's nothing green happened since
Just
I don't
that
know.
it's that summer night vibe. It's that
Yeah.
summer vibe. 8 o'clock still. Actually, it's getting pretty dark
Brought
out.
the
We'll
lake
lose.
back with me.
Yep, there it is.
Yep.
All right.
All
We'll
right.
see y'all next week. Oh, no, wait,
See you
sorry.
guys later.
In 3 days. Bye.
Have a